Our darkest moments are when we feel life is out of control. Either things are happening or aren't happening, and we feel powerless to change them. In these moments, know that as long as you are alive, you have the power to choose, to create, to think, to believe, to work. There certainly were some dark moments in 2020, and many things were beyond our control. However, what we could control, things such as choice, creativity, thought, belief, and good old-fashioned hard work, we did. Additionally, having a strong staff, dedicated school board, and supportive community allowed for School District 129 to find some light to overcome the darkness of 2020. This journey began for us on March 16th, the first day of school closings statewide per the governor's orders. All schools shifted to remote learning for their students, and while this change posed many challenges, School District 129 was primed to make the transition thanks to our school board and our community. You see, it was their support that paved the way for the One Device to One student initiative back in 2017. Prior to that initiative, we conducted an intensive 3-year classroom technology pilot to determine if one-to-one technology was a good fit for our district. Having devices in hand and a greater tech awareness in 2020 meant that we could more quickly shift our instruction from in-person to remote. Our teachers went above and beyond to create meaningful learning opportunities for our students. The scenario was not ideal. However, we are proud of the diligent efforts made by our staff and our students. Due to the fact that many families rely on free or reduced lunches during the school year to feed their children, we knew there was an immediate need to distribute food. We took an all-hands-on-deck approach as we enlisted the help of all administrators, as well as countless food service workers, to kick the food distribution program into gear. I am proud to share that between March and December of 2020, School District 129 provided 1.5 million meals to children who reside within our boundaries. That distribution continues today, ensuring that regardless of whether or not students are physically in our buildings, they will have food security. The spring of 2020 also saw the loss of athletic seasons. West Aurora High School joined the hashtag Be the Light and Lights for the Fight movements by turning on the lights at Ken Zimmerman Field each Friday night. Not only did this initiative aim to commemorate our seniors, but it also honored our healthcare workers, first responders, and essential workers. There were several other ways our school community showed solidarity despite not being able to gather in person. Several of our buildings organized neighborhood parades. Our staff decorated their cars and waved to students as a way to say hello, reconnect, and celebrate. When it came time for the series of customary spring celebrations, we had to commemorate them in new and unique ways. Grade level promotions were celebrated with yard signs and more parades. Retirees were honored on their front lawns and on social media, and traditional recognition ceremonies, such as the Excellence in Education Banquet and Senior Honors Night, were held completely virtual. Speaking of our seniors, the class of 2020 endured many disappointments that spring, but our high school staff did a phenomenal job of celebrating them, despite the fact that we could not host an in-person commencement ceremony. Caps and gowns were delivered to the doorstep of nearly 1,000 graduates via the Graduation Express. Seniors were given a yard sign and invited to personalize it and display it on their front lawn of the high school for all of our community to see. The Senior Farewell Drive-By Parade, hosted on the campus of West High, gave our seniors and staff members a chance to say goodbye and good luck to one another. And finally, virtual commencement included personalized slides created by each graduate, as well as select student performances and speeches. With summer came a decline in COVID-19 cases while construction projects across the district ramped up. West High's auditorium received new concrete sidewalks with improved ramps and handicap accessibility, as well as new doors and windows in the lobby. A new parking lot pavement went in at Jewell, Herget, Hall, Schneider, and Washington schools, while roofing improvements were made at Hope D. Wall, Hall, and Jefferson. New playgrounds were installed at Smith and Nicholson, as well as Hope D. Wall School. The new inclusive playground at Hope D. Wall is now wheelchair accessible and will serve the students of Hope D. Wall and the children of all abilities in the Aurora area. The playground projects were funded in part by grant money as well as donations made by our dedicated partners such as the City of Aurora, the East Aurora School District, Fox Valley Park District, and our various parent-teacher organizations. Speaking of Hope D-Wall, that school also received 2 new boilers, 6 new classroom heating and cooling units, a new gym rooftop unit that provides heating and cooling to that space. We also completed the installation of solar panels at West Aurora High School as well as Hill, Nicholson, and Hall Elementary Schools. This added energy savings will help pay for future roof replacements, and the added UV protection that the solar panels will provide should increase the lifespan of those roofs by at least 7 years. Our exterior projects include tuck pointing and masonry repair at Freeman, West High, and the West Aurora Learning Center. New exterior windows and doors were installed at West High, Freeman, Goodwin, and Hall, while the interior of Nicholson received new flooring throughout the building. The high school stadium complex modernization project began with the installation of new stadium bleacher seats, bathroom renovations, as well as exterior paint and decorative wall banners. That project will continue into the summer of 2021 and will include a formal home team stadium entrance from Plum Street, a new concession stand, and ticket booth. We thank the Blackhawks Sports Boosters for spearheading the fundraising effort to support the ongoing project. During the summer and into the early fall, we were able to host non-contact athletic practices and extracurricular meetings while following safety guidelines. This meant we were able to include students in our annual Kickoff Event, which is an event intended to welcome our staff to the start of the new school year. Typically, the gathering would have been held in the auditorium with all 1,800 staff members in attendance. Instead, we pre-recorded the event on the football field and included our drumline and color guard. I had the honor of presenting 3 more challenge coins that day, a tradition that I had started just a year prior. The challenge coin is an award intended to instill pride, honor a person for special achievement, or acknowledge outstanding performance over time. Featured that day was retired wrestling coach George Deich, former Goodwin principal Sandy Bauer, and longtime School District 120 educator Ernie Pachigian. In preparing for the 2021 school year, our buildings held student supply pickup events at their buildings. The district office hosted tech support drop-in, and West Aurora High School held virtual freshman orientation. Our maintenance department strengthened our cleaning procedures, incorporating the daily use of electrostatic sprayers at each of our buildings across the district and on buses and playgrounds. The start of the school year brought the return of certain low-risk sports, such as tennis, cross-country, and golf. Although there was no homecoming dance or parade, West High found other ways to keep spirits up. This included West Fest, a week-long school spirit celebration that ended with a laser light show on the campus of West High. Also in the fall, we received word that the financial services firm Moody's Investor Service upgraded the district's A1 bond rating to AA3 or high grade. This is the 4th highest rating in Moody's scale, meaning that our school district debt is judged to be of high quality and is subject to very low credit risk. We attribute this success to our school board and their consistent approvals of balanced budgets. As the holidays approached, other traditional events needed a makeover in order to be compliant with county health guidelines. Breakfast with Santa, sponsored by the Career and Technical Education Department, gave local families the chance to view Santa and receive a few special gifts as they drove past the high school. We also had several holiday performing arts events, including a virtual art show, magical concert, and several band concerts at the various levels. Considering the fact that the pandemic and learning at home brought stress upon so many of our families, School District 129 established many initiatives during the course of the past year. This included a student support text helpline so that students can text us directly if they were missing the help that they would typically get from their school, if they were in need of shelter or food, or worried about a friend. We also started a Stay Safe at Home initiative, which included student-friendly informational videos on topics such as tornado safety, firearm safety, and substance abuse. In tandem with the fire safety video, we offered families free replacement batteries for smoke detectors. And in conjunction with the firearm safety video, we made firearm locks available to those families who were in need. In an effort to support our staff, our team of school counselors, psychologists, and social workers created Wellness Wednesdays. Each week, the team shares tips and resources on topics such as de-escalation strategies, social emotional learning in the classroom, and self-care tips. We also want to do whatever we can to empower all of our students to succeed. To help us continue on that journey, we hired the first Director of Educational Equity for School District 129, Dr. Valerie McCall. Dr. McCall will begin her role by conducting an audit of our system, everything from teaching methods to hiring practices. She has also enlisted the help of students, staff, and community members in establishing task force teams to carry out her important work. And that brings us to present day, where we just completed the Power of You Staff Recognition Week, honoring those School District 129 individuals who have gone above and beyond in their roles. Our students are building momentum in one of two models, either the blended learning experience or the virtual learning academy. Many clubs and activities have returned, and we are in the middle of a shortened winter athletic season at the high school. And speaking of students, I would be remiss if I didn't stop to share some student and team accomplishments. While this list may be a bit shorter than in years past, we know that each one represents just as much, if not more, dedication to excellence. West Aurora students are involved. West Aurora has academically strong students who are honored for their hard work. West Aurora has highly competitive teams and clubs. West Aurora is known for having a strong fine arts department in our schools. West Aurora students and staff are community-minded and have recently donated to local organizations. West Aurora students are becoming independent with technology. West Aurora seniors are high achieving. West Aurora students are resilient in the face of adversity. In conclusion, we have learned a lot about our district over the course of the past year. Our students and staff have learned to be adaptable, switching from in-person to remote learning almost overnight. We have learned resilience and how to persevere when we face a hurdle. We learned to never take things for granted, the importance of staying connected, and that patience and compassion are our greatest treasure. At this point, we are unsure what 2021 will bring us, but armed with the experiences of the past year, School District 129 will rise to meet any challenge.